What's going on, guys? Jay Hoy back with you today. I'm bringing you the 21st episode of the Be a GM series, and joining me once again is Chris. How you doing today?
Pretty good, man. We're off to a good start this season. Hope we keep it up and get even better. Why not?
Definitely agree with that one, and I definitely want to see the team perform. But a couple things did happen. We did make some lineup changes, first of all. So, in case you didn't notice, Palat we moved up onto the second line, moved Silverberg down, and we moved him to the third line. Then we moved Pajot down, so they're kind of a little bit of a swap, and I think you're mentioning this, but either way, defensive-wise, we moved Schutz up to play along with CC, because CC is obviously very good this year and performing very well, and Schutz is an offensive guy and doing a lot better than Clefbaum, so hopefully those top four can definitely outperform, and hopefully these guys can get some points, but either way. And we did make some lineup changes in the AHL, but those don't really matter. And we did keep Herringer, but here's the thing. When we were looking, we were talking about trading him, and we were talking about signing a new guy. But here's the thing. When you look at when you look at the free agents list right now, we'll start with the goalies. Alex Fatano, whatever his name is, 85 overall, 24 years old, 3.5 yellow star potential, and he's on an entry-level contract. So now what we did actually before the video was actually offered him, so that way I could simulate up and sign him. But there's a second guy, Thomas Foster. Same thing, 83 overall, entry-level contract, 22 years old, 3.5 red star. Neither of them have played, obviously, since they're on an entry-level contract, but we did offer both of them to get on our team. So if we simulate a couple days here, hopefully they'll be on our team and we can get them in and playing. But if not, if they don't want to sign, which I don't think they're not going to because they have no other offers, then we'll definitely have a very good upgrade. So there are both of them, which is good. So those two guys will definitely help our team. Getting an 85 overall backup goalie for this year to help Leonard out is definitely good. And I might even split the games a little bit more to help. So if we go into the roster moves and definitely get them in the NHL, because I don't know exactly where they went, we will figure that out. So Foster, we got to bring him up, and Fatanos, or whatever your name is, got to bring you up as well. And we can actually send Herringer down. I didn't even realize that. But let's put them in the lineup first, and then we'll see what we want to do there. But either way, Chris, looking at these two new players we got, I don't think the goalie's really a question here. We'll put him in the lineup and take Herringer out at the moment. But looking at Thomas Foster and looking at our team, what kind of move would you make in this situation?
I think you look at one of the bottom four forwards, including Stone in that bottom four, Palmieri, Lazar, Pajot. I'd probably take one of those guys out. If it's Stone, Lazar, or Pajot, you could send them down because they be playing first line in the AHL. So whatever we decide to do, I do think we should put Foster in the lineup immediately because over three of those four guys, he would be an overall upgrade.
Agree with that one. 83 compared to, I mean, there's an 83, there's an 80, and there's 82, and there's also another 82. But here's what I'm going to do, I think. Let's take Lazar out. And the reason I say this is he's, I think, the youngest. I'm not really sure about that one. Even though he's putting up 12 points, his overall is not there compared to a Pajot, a Stone, or a Palmieri. Now, with a Foster in the lineup, he's an 83, so it's an upgrade in overall. And hopefully, I'm not really sure about the defensive category because I didn't really check it out real quick. But he's really fast, got a really good skating category, and he has a pretty good, powerful shot. But other than that, I mean, he's pretty good all around that we really need him for. So hopefully, with the line on there, it will definitely help us. But as for this fact, I'm going to check out face-offs real quick, and then we'll see if we have to swap any of these guys around. So 72, I believe it was that. But are you saying switch him and Foster here?
Yeah, I think giving Foster a chance on the third line with Silverberg and Stone would be probably beneficial for him. And you could even move Pajot up for Stone or whatever you decide to do. I mean, whatever is fine. You could even have, I know you don't like righties in the left wing and stuff like that. You could switch the three guys around in the third line to have Silverberg on the right wing there as well.
All right, yeah. I mean, you know me pretty well, but we'll go with that line: Foster, Peugeot, and Silverberg. I do like that, but unfortunately, now we don't really have a second center on the fourth line to move Gillorn there on the left wing. But either way, I definitely like those moves. Definitely an upgrade in Fontanos or whatever his name is, and where's his name? Foster. So let's go send. Do we want to send Harriger down, or do you just want to leave him in the NHL?
I don't think either way. I don't think he'll be playing, so I don't think it matters for him. But I would say definitely send Lazard down, but never mind, because waivers are off or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not really sure how waivers works in this game. I know if it says no here on waiver eligible, that he automatically goes down. But if you're on a two-way contract, I'm not really sure exactly how it works. But I think it's like if it's at a certain age. I don't know. But either way, I think I'm gonna cut this part out, and we'll see you once I get back. All right, so looking towards the rest of the season, we did just go and check. We do not have a first-round pick, but maybe towards the end of the season or the trade deadline or at the draft, we might trade for a first. But 25, 14, and 1, basically leading into the All-Star break in a couple weeks. We definitely need to win some games here to stay ahead and stay on top of the standings. But either way, Bobby Ryan leading the way in goals. Hoffman in a plus minus. CC stepping up again with assists, and Robin Leonard yet again on top of our goalies. But with a new addition of Fontanos or whatever his name is, definitely should help that wins because, what was it, 2 and 4 or whatever is definitely not good enough to stay as a backup role in the NHL. But 85 overall compared to an 86 is a little different, obviously, but they should definitely put up points. But I don't think he's gotten a win yet since he's been here. But either way, Chicago kind of struggling, looks like. Not really doing as well as they probably should be doing, but gets the win over that. But going to the All-Star break, do you have any All-Stars for this team so far?
I definitely think Bobby Ryan will be there. It'd shock me if Leonard wasn't. Maybe even Cody Ceci. I'm not sure. He's doing really well on our team. I'm not sure how he compares to the rest of the defensemen in the Eastern Conference, but Leonard and Bobby Ryan should be locks going to the All-Star game.
I definitely agree. I think the next game is the All-Star game, so I'm probably going to stop it right here to check, because 31, 15, and 1, I believe we're on top of the league, unless something else really interesting has happened in the rest of the league that we don't know about. But simulating has stopped, sort of. It's frozen. Okay, there we go. All right, so the next game is the All-Star game, so let's go check if we do have anybody there. I wish there was like a roster you can actually go look at instead of actually having to go in the game, acting like you're going to play it, and then checking it out from there. But either way, obviously a star-studded first line there, star-studded second line there. Don't see anybody yet, but Carlson. Okay, so there's Carlson. Obviously, I didn't really think he was gonna be there, but either way, there's Leonard. But kind of surprised Ceci isn't there, to be completely honest. Ceci definitely. I think last time we checked, he was leading our defense in points. So I'm not really sure what Carlson did since then. But either way, let's go up to the trade deadline and see what's going on from there. And it does look like Fontanos did get his first win with the Ottawa Senators, so that is good to see. Congrats on that. But going out west to go on a big road trip, kind of interesting to see. But some of these guys we're probably not even going to see in the playoffs. Surprisingly, the Edmonton Oilers are actually doing good for once, which is kind of interesting to see. But either way, we got the win, so it doesn't really matter. But looking towards the rest of the season, what are you looking for, Chris?
I think Fontanos should be able to provide some good relief for Robin Leonard. I look for Bobby Ryan to keep up the goal scoring. He looks like he's on pace for 35, 40 goals. CC looks like he's on pace for about 50 assists. So our team looks good right now. We're continuing the winning trend. Fontanos got a second win, probably in the game against Boston. So I'm liking the way we're trending right now. We seem to be going in a good direction. And we'll have to see the stats at the trade deadline, see how our individual guys are doing. But looks like we're doing pretty damn well, I'd say.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And we actually did find a player we do kind of want, but without a first-round pick, it doesn't really matter. But either way, let's go get this done real quick. WHL 6 weeks. So we'll go against Buffalo and then get about a week off, and then we're going to go into the trade deadline and hopefully some interesting things will happen. But we don't want to downgrade our team because obviously we're doing very well this season. But if we can get another crucial piece that's actually performing, then obviously we need that piece. But I'm kind of interested to see. I haven't seen Shinkarik's name in a while. I know he started out hot, but what has he done since then? Obviously, Ryan, Zibanejad, Hoffman, CC, obviously Carlson did something to go in the All-Star game, and Leonard all seem to be performing very well, but I haven't seen anybody else's name really there. So are we getting the depth scoring, or are they just not keeping up with the top line? But, I mean, either way, once we get into the trade deadline, we can check all that with the stats, with the everything, the standings, if our penalty kill is doing terrible, if our power play, all that good stuff. Because I don't even think we even showed you any of those lines, but we did do them to make it for us. And 40 wins, so obviously I think we're almost guaranteed a playoff spot at this point. But obviously want to hit that 50 and maybe even 60. I don't think we can at this point. But we definitely want to finish strong, going after the trade deadline, and continuing for the rest of the season. But I don't know. We actually won a couple of games here, so hopefully that's a good sign for our future. Going against Edmonton, finally at home, and one more game, I believe, and then we're hitting the trade deadline. And I don't know if we're gonna make any moves. But Bobby Ryan, 30 goals, great to see there. Toronto's so stupid. They only have one good line, and they somehow win. All right, so we ended. Wow, 8. Okay, so we're on an 8-game winning streak. Kind of interesting to see there. But let's go check the stats and see if we need to make anything happen here at the trade deadline. But if I can click the right buttons, it would go a lot faster. I'm pretty sure all of you guys know that. But loading the stats here real quick. Hopefully it wouldn't take forever like it usually does. And then we can check everything else out. So Zibanejad still performing. Turris still there. And then these guys kind of doing around the same. Foster 6 points. Playing on the third line, kind of iffy there, but kind of good numbers as well. Hoffman, Palat, Shinkarik, don't really know what to think about that. We added Palat on that line, so I don't know what's happening there, but Palmieri playing the fourth line, that's all right. Bobby Ryan, definitely performing. 30 goals, almost 40 assists. Silfverberg and Stone not really doing much of anything, so maybe at the draft we'll trade Silfverberg, not really sure just yet. Schutz, Klefbom, and Trouba, not really doing anything. I understand with these 3 guys doing everything, but these are only 2. This is only 1.5 lines. With Schutz there with CC, not really sure if Schutz is just passing it to him or whatever, but he doesn't have too many points. But that's what I wanted to see. Fontanos, 4-1. Are you glad we picked him up?
Absolutely.
Good answer. All right. So the only trades I'd ever or even want to make here is either upgrading 3 of our defense or moving a guy like Silfverberg. That's the only things I would want to do here. But do you have any idea of what you'd want to do here at the deadline?
I definitely think you could package like a defenseman and maybe Herringer for a better defenseman to play with CC. Maybe that'd even get him doing better than he already is. Who knows with that one, but upgrading our bottom 6 forwards who seem to be really underperforming at this point wouldn't be a bad idea. And I mentioned the defensemen, so not too many moves that have to be made because obviously what we're doing is working. But at the same time, if you can do something to make your team better, you want to do it. We'll have to see if we need to or if we want to find something here at the trade deadline.
All right, well, I think we're just going to go into the deadline, and I think I'm going to go try to look for a trade for our defense, but I'm okay with leaving our forwards the way they are. Maybe just a couple switches need to be made. I'm not sure, but anyway, I think we're going to go into the deadline and look for a defenseman. So if we find anything, then we'll obviously show you. If not, we'll just start simulating again and looking for the playoffs. So we did just find a trade we do kind of like. So it is Oscar Klefbom to Detroit for Xavier or whatever his name is, Olet or Olay or whatever. But basically what it is, it's a two-way defenseman from us for, I believe it's another two-way defenseman from them. Same potential, same age, one less year on his contract. But the major difference is he almost has 40 points. So I mean, the minus 11's kind of whatever, but basically the same everything, basically, except for he's performing. So will it go through? Yes, it will. So it is extremely similar in trade. It's just kind of the same player, just that guy's performing. So if we do go put him in the lineup, he isn't. Or then here's the thing: do we want to move Schutz back down?
I would say yes.
All right. So we did just do that. So hopefully these two can absolutely tear it up because Ouellette was tearing stuff up in Detroit, and now him and CC together, that creates a very good top four. I don't really plan to. So after the trade deadline, let's simulate up to the end of the season and see what's going to happen there, because we definitely want to make the playoffs. And sitting right now, we are actually on top of the league. The Western Conference seems to be really weak this year for whatever reason. And who's at the bottom of the league? It looks like the Rangers, Buffalo, Washington, and that's about it for the bottom three. So we do end up facing the Rangers at the end of the year, which is kind of cool. But let's go to the last week of the season and hopefully continue this big run we've put together this year. So I'm going to hopefully look for around 55 wins. I think that's still mathematically possible. I don't know exactly how many games are left, but either way, Ryan still performing very well. Go against Buffalo. Should be an easy win. Ends up pulling out the win. We're on a 10-game winning streak. Oh, that's right. We were on an 8-game before we left, or before the deadline, and now we're... Don't remember if we just won that one, did we?
I don't know, man.
All right. But either way, going against these rest of the teams, what are you looking for the playoffs, seeing we're basically guaranteed a spot?
Well, I think it's important that Bobby Ryan and our top now 4 defensemen keep performing. You know, our stars have really shined this year. I know it's cliche, but they've been ridiculously solid. We are on a 12-game winning streak right now. Hope to make it 13 there, but I guess I jinxed us. My bad. But no, I look for our stars to keep it up. I mean, they've been doing really well. You know, just have them keep performing, because that's really all we need at this point.
Definitely should still continue to keep putting up those points. We did reach the 50 win point again, so glad to see there. So hopefully it beats our last year's record. Let's do the scouting real quick. I know we have a couple players in mind, but let's just go to the ones we haven't scouted, just in case there's anybody that stands out. And continuing on towards April and the push towards the playoffs. So it does look like Fontanos is still performing, which is good. So glad we got him. So we might end up having to trade him towards the end of his contract, only because we're probably not going to be able to re-sign him because of salary. And with Leonard there, unless he becomes like something greater than Leonard, then we might have to trade Leonard. But we're going to have to pay one of them either way. So definitely don't want to have both of them on the contract. But if they're both performing, we want to keep them as long as possible and keep performing while we have them. But now switching into April, 52 wins. All we need is, I think, one more to tie our record from last year. And we have about 5 games or so left. I'm not exactly sure how many, maybe 6. But hopefully we can win here, and hopefully I don't jinx us like Chris did last time on the winning streak. But it looks like one more win and we get the conference championship, which is good. So there it is. So it looks like we have won the conference championship, which is good to see. I don't understand how Alex Ovechkin can put up almost 50 goals and then they're still losing. But we have 3 games left. We have tied our record. We're on top of the league. Doesn't look like anybody else has a shot to come back and win against us. So it does look like we won the Presidents as well. But going in the last 3 games, are you happy with this season?
I definitely am. I see Zibanejad there with 33 goals as well, which means he's right behind Bobby Ryan. That means Hoffman's giving them the puck very well as our first-line defenseman. You see Keith Yandel, and I'm positive that Carlson's not that far behind. So definitely happy with this season. We actually took a step down because I think we had 58 wins last year. But either way, 55 wins, definitely no slouch. Number 1 seed going to the playoffs. Home ice advantage throughout the entire playoffs. So really happy with that. And wow, our division went nuts this year, dude. That's crazy. But yeah, definitely happy with this year.
Yeah, like you said, on top of the league. And actually, I do want to check because you keep saying 58, and I think it's 54. So I want to check that so we don't confuse our viewers. And where is it? It was actually 54. So we did step up from last year. A lot less overtime losses, but a couple more regulation losses. But here's the one thing. We kept getting better. We had 42, 44, 48, and then we jumped up huge to 54. Now we're even better. But here's the stat that stayed the same. The first round playoffs. So maybe it's a curse, maybe it's whatever. But we'll find out in the next video once we go into the playoffs. But I just want to check the stats real quick, and then I'll probably end the video. But looking towards the playoffs, I don't really know what to think other than the guys that are still hot need to keep going. You cannot stop at this point. Once you reach the playoffs, that's when you want to throw everything out there. Everything needs to be clicking. Nothing needs to stop. And obviously with our team, we're basically the best in the league. I mean, we are the best in the league. So Zibanejad, 34. I mean, these two are just solid together. I mean, that's a good 1-2 punch down the middle. Could get a better third line center. I mean, obviously we had Pajot. We wanted to give a chance this year, but didn't really put up the third line numbers we needed. So we put him there. Then we got Foster we put there. Then we had Lazar there at one point, I'm pretty sure. And then going under our left wings. I mean, 50 points. We need more out of him. He's an 89 overall. Hoffman's only an 87. He's putting up point per game numbers. So here's the thing. If we want to upgrade our defense, upgrade our team, I think we need to get rid of Shinkarik. I mean, that sounds bad, but 50 points for an 89 overall player, that's way underperforming. Obviously, with Palat, 86 overall, that's one less than Hoffman. He's put up almost 60, but he's a playmaker. But being an 89 overall sniper, you need more out of that. So I'm not sure what we're going to look for that. But Bobby Ryan, again, point per game +1, along with similar numbers to Hoffman. Actually, the same numbers as Hoffman, which is good. But Silfverberg and Stone, I definitely think we should trade one of these two because they're not clicking or whatever. But this is exactly what I wanted to see. The top four definitely performing very similar stats here, which is great to see. I mean, none of them underperformed, but I mean, these two, I don't know. Schultz was kind of a gamble for us. Entry-level contract like Foster and Fontinos, but so it was good to see there. Ceci put up a lot of penalty minutes. Not really quite sure why, but Fontanos actually not struggled, but didn't stay on his hot streak that he was. So they each got 10 games. Obviously, you can see who's better, and Leonard, obviously, our starter. But either way, guys, going into the playoffs, don't really think anything's going to change. Maybe a couple line changes, not really sure, but you'll have to find out in the next video because we're going to wrap it up here. Anything else to say, Chris?
I just hope for a deep playoff run, man. That's literally all I want right now.
Yeah, 4 first-round losses, 4 first-round exits. Don't want that again. So hopefully we can make it past the first round. But either way, guys, I hope you're liking the series. If you are, please leave a like and let me know you're liking it. And leave comments to let me know what's going on or what you guys think. Because I haven't really had much comments of what you guys are thinking of the series. So I know a bunch of you guys are watching it. So if you are enjoying or whatever you want to say, there is a comments below. So if you just scroll down, undo full screen or whatever, scroll down, leave a comment to whatever. I mean, if you hate it, let me know. If you like it, if you're enjoying it, whatever, just let me know, guys. And subscribe for more. Anyway, guys, I'll see you later.